Lineups are a major part of Lemnis Gate, whether you like them or not. I'm gonna explain what lineups are and how to use them, but if you already know this, you can skip to the montage highlighting different lineups in the timestamps below. Lineups generally refers to certain angles that you can shoot at objectives from afar, or certain arcs that you can throw projectiles like mines across. Getting angles on objectives is very beneficial in Seek and Destroy as well as Domination, while Projectile Arc lineups can be used in any game mode, although they come mostly into play on Capture XM and sometimes Seek and Destroy maps. In this video, I'll only give you a quick overview of Projectile Arc lineups, but we'll go in depth with angle lineups. We're gonna be talking about lineups from both spawns on some of the maps, so I will refer to the side that goes first as player 1 and the side that goes second as player 2. So let's jump right into it. Deathblow's mines, Capitan's grenades, and even Toxin's sludge are projectiles which, once shot or thrown, travel in an arc until they hit the ground or an opponent. This allows you to throw them over buildings and cliffs and hit whatever is on the other side. This is very useful in trying to be aggressive shortly after spawning or while behind solid cover. Deathblow mines in particular are very useful on XM maps, as with the correct lineup you can manage to throw mines onto the different XM pickup points or onto common paths for your enemy, all while standing near your base. I haven't experimented too much with this type of lineup, but one of my friends, Lightcross, sent me a couple of his favorite lineups the other day, so I'll showcase that to you guys. So, lining up these angles is all about standing in a certain location and finding a good reference point. So, on Iridium Plains, as player 1, Cross goes to this general area of this rock on the ground and uses these two pillars as a reference to align his throw, and then he has memorized where each mine will land. This doesn't have to be super precise, but you should try to be fairly consistent to have your mines land where you want them to. Here you can see where the mine from each throw will land on the opponent's side. They all land in convenient spots on your opponent's side to take out the operatives either while they are returning to base with XM or while they are going out to collect XM. I'll put another of Cross's lineups on Tectonic Wells on screen for you guys to check that out too. I also recommend using Deathblow in a later round to throw mines where you know that the opponent's operatives are gonna go, so the opponent can't just shoot the mines before running past an area. A small note on these lineups is that they are slightly ping dependent, which means if you have a poor connection, the projectiles will tend to be thrown slightly further or slightly shorter, but in most cases that's not a huge issue. If you want more lineups like these, Schmidt posted a video going in depth with them that you can check out on his channel. Now let's get into a different type of lineups, angles on objectives. It is crucial to have good sightlines memorized on Seek and Destroy maps, as they can provide a lot of early objective damage. When finding a lineup, there's 3 factors to consider. 1. You want to be able to shoot the objective and reliably hit your shots. 2. You want to be in cover from enemy shots and sightlines as much as possible. And 3. You want to preferably be as far from the enemy spawn as possible. Some lineups are better at accomplishing some of these tasks than others, and many lineups are also dependent on which operative you play. Another very important point about these lineups is that the stability and accuracy stat matter a ton for a lot of them. Stability is what reduces your gun's recoil or kick when you shoot, and accuracy causes your bullets to actually hit where you're aiming instead of in a large area around your target. For some lineups, stability and or accuracy are a must, for others it's an optional thing. You should also note that even with good lineups, it's still crucial to go in close and do some damage to the objectives, for example with Vendetta or Rush. Objectives can be easily shielded by the opponent, which blocks some of the initial damage you inflict on them. You will still be able to destroy the objectives even if they are shielded, but the shield will buy your opponent time to get to your side of the map and kill your operatives before they can do so. This is why you need to also send some characters to get in close and put pressure on the objectives, and it's also why it's often a good idea to go to several different lineup angles with each character so you're not a sitting duck. I'm gonna explain a few lineups on Caldera, and afterwards I will cue a montage of excellent lineup spots. So, a popular move on Seek and Destroy is using Deathblow to shoot an objective right out of spawn. These angles are specific to Deathblow because you can shoot his rockets on walls or roofs near the objective, and the splash damage will hurt the objective. On Caldera, shooting this red pipe inside the building will detonate the rocket and damage the objective. You should note that for Deathblow lineups to really be effective, you need a max accuracy launcher, as otherwise your rockets will likely miss the target. I recommend the Lightyear skin for Deathblow's launcher. Striker has a lot of angles and different maps to shoot at objectives simply because he is very accurate with his sniper rifle and can shoot through the tiniest gaps. It often requires a little bit of parkour to get to these spots for Striker though, especially this one on Caldera. For this one, you need to slide jump over the jump pad, then slam down on it when you're right above it to get the extra height to make it to this little spot on the cliff. Capitan can also get a lot of good angles, but her gun is a little more inaccurate, so sometimes long-range shots can be harder to hit. On Caldera, I like to go in this spot right here and shoot at the objective, and you can also throw grenades to increase your damage. Carl is a bit of a wild card, as his high jump and accurate laser allows him to shoot at objectives from a surprising amount of angles. You should note that I will be showcasing angles with specific characters, but oftentimes you can switch the characters out. For example, Carl and Striker can hit a lot of the same angles, and they can also hit all the same angles that Capitan can. I also highly suggest trying to either attach shields to your characters during these lineup angles, or placing the shields where your characters will be standing to protect them. I'll now put a video of me showing some different lineup spots on all the Seek and Destroy and Domination maps. Some of these are angles that I personally found, while others are ones that I learned from other players in the community, such as Soul Lucky, Dart Killers, Baylorgs, and others. This spot I wanted to showcase in particular just because it's so cheeky. I first learned of it when playing Baylorgs in Square 1 in a tournament match hosted by Time Dive Tournaments. By the way, if you haven't checked out TDT, you definitely should. I'll put a link in the description. So this is a super cheeky spot, and it's actually pretty hard to counter because you need to get around the building to effectively deal with this Carl. The downside though is that Carl can only hit one objective from here, and for you to consistently hit that objective, you'd want a high accuracy and stability Carl laser. Before ending this video, I just want to say that there is currently a bit of discussion about angle lineups in the community. Some people think that the lineups create a boring or overpowered gameplay loop, while others think that they are useful for balance. Personally, I don't really think that these lineups are overpowered since they're all counterable. You just have to find which counters work for different lineups and strategies. But I do agree that the lineups decrease the quality of the overall gameplay experience, as shooting at an objective from 2 miles away isn't quite as exciting as being up close and personal to the objectives and your opponents. I do hope Ratloop may take some consideration of these angles and how the gameplay works out, but that may require further balancing, as without angles it can be rather tough for an attacker to destroy the objectives. That's just my 2 cents, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did and want me to make more content like this, please consider liking and subscribing. Catch you on the next one.